Like a lot of people, I was not excited about season 2 of Squid Game at all because season 1 was, even though amazing, it was something that was clearly meant to be only one season and then they dragged it out. Now, I didn't think that season 2 was going to be absolutely atrocious or something like that. People who made season 1 were clearly very talented bunch of people, and I at least hope some nice quality production on season 2. But to my surprise, actually, in season 2, they tried to do something different. I mean, it's not completely different, and I will explain that in a little bit, but it is definitely not some cheap cash grab. They clearly put in a lot of effort to make it something nice for the audience. So, season 2 actually starts out really strong, especially first 3 episodes, and even the first episode. I think that first episode is actually one of the best episode in my opinion in the entire series, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because you want it to get better as you watch more episodes, right? That's what we are used to. But here, episodes 1, 2, and 3 do things very differently and actually get you excited. I was seriously hyped by the end of third episode. I thought like, wow, they really did something different, unique, and amazing. But unfortunately, after the fourth episode, the plot basically stops progressing for episode 4, 5, and 6. But by the end of 7th episode, you realize that, oh no, they did one of the most annoying shit ever, which is split season 2 in 2 parts. Now, I'm not sure that if they will call next season 3 or season 2 part 2, but this is definitely not a complete season. It is 2 episodes short and you feel it. You feel it hard by the end of 7th episode. And also, I'm pretty sure you had your own theories about, how he ends up in the games again. And you all had that one idea that, oh, he's probably again in the game because of that. And yes, he is in the game because of that. There's nothing crazy or creative about that. He's exactly in there because of that. And we both know what I'm talking about. I mean, they do build it up, but the exact moment where it happens is actually kind of clunky. But still, you don't feel bad or cheated out when he enters the game again. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the first 3 episodes because they're the best one and I want you to experience them by yourself. Also, it feels so strange to say that I don't want to spoil the early episodes of the season, but I'm fine with the later episodes. It's really strange in that regard. Basically, the season has 2 different plot lines going on, and one of them is far more interesting than the second one. And unfortunately, they end up spending more time on the second one, because that plot line is more similar to the first season, which is like related with games and in-game politics and stuff like that, because that's what made the season 1 so successful. There are many new characters introduced as well. Some are surprisingly funny actually, and a lot of the humor works in this tense situation. But some are just very one-dimensional. They have one particular way of acting and they just keep doing that behavior for rest of the season. But there is this mother-son combination. I think that duo was very interesting to watch. And also, it does really good job at showing you how low people can go when it comes to being greedy for money or even out of fear or for their ambition. People can sink low, and the progression of how it happens, how people start changing their minds and how they are betraying each other, it's very well done. But even after all that, my least favorite part still ends up being the games themselves, because we already saw them in season 1. Even though they tried to be creative and they came up with more interesting ways to do stuff, but because we have seen it before, there is a lot of deja vu kind of moments. It's like, yeah, okay, now that will happen, now this character will be sad, now this will be intense. And not only that, but the repetitive nature of these games, and how they are put together in episode and how people behave during those games or around that really hurts the pacing. And that's pretty much everything in the later episodes. They completely ignore whatever they build up in earlier episodes And finally we get a little bit of in 7th episode. I thought, it's final episode, they will show more of the interesting plot line. But here again, no, they just want to show what happens in the games. And I was kind of let down by it. I kid you not, at one point during episode 5 I almost fell asleep, because there is a limit to how much I can take just character development after character development and people just talking each other out of fear and panic. And because it is not a complete season, the ending feels very flat and unsatisfying. They try to build up, there is like this really long action scene in the final episode, and they spend so much time on it that after a while I just got numb to it. I'm like, can you please just end this sequence now? It's just going on for so long, and how many minutes can you more spend on it? There are also a couple of characters that they try to develop earlier, and then they suddenly just like, nah, we're not interested in them, so just they literally forget about them. And I just found out that the guy who played this purple hair character, some people wanted him to apologize for playing that character in cringy way, which is so stupid because he was one of the most interesting character. I mean, I also expected from the trailer and clippings that, oh, it's gonna be total cringe show, but they actually handle that cringy behavior in a very good way. And there is actually a crypto bro who did like a crypto scams, and it's really funny and also very relevant. And also this season does very good job at showcasing the trauma, panic, terror of being stuck in this kind of situation and watching people die around you, and this constant fear that you can die anytime. Some of the characters who had to show that panic and tears and fear, they did very good job. And overall production was also well put together. I mean, sure, all the sets and colors and themes we have seen before, but the camera work and editing and shooting, everything felt very well done. You can see that they put in effort and they wanted to make a good show, and it wasn't a cheap cash grab. So I actually kind of got tricked by this season in a way that I did not have very high expectation, but the first 2-3 episodes were so good that I actually ended up changing my expectation mid-season. So by the end of 3rd episode I was like, oh my god, they killed it, this is amazing. And they brought it down, just like, nah, it's not that good. And by the end of 7th episode I was just unsatisfied. But still, if you enjoyed season 1, I will highly recommend watching season 2, because they put a lot of effort and there are a lot of nice events in this season that you should definitely watch. And yes, episode 7 is very unsatisfying, but I'm hoping that they will make it up in the future episodes, because we are clearly getting either season 3 or season 2 part 2. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun watching this video, and I hope you have a lot of fun watching Squid Game season 2. So till then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with fiction.